Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim cha Tatputra Parasharam cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Matasya Sishyam Sri Shankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam cha Hastamalakam cha Shishyam Tam Todakam Vartika Karamanyan Asmadgurun Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. 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 Nama Sri Shankarananda Guru Padambujanmane Savilasa Mahamoha Graha Grasaika Karmani. Even though the world as we see it is very clear, apparently looks very real, then here about discussing on the topic of Maya, it is said in verse number 141, Na nirupayitum shakya vispashtam basate chaya. Even though that it is very evident that the world is seen also, just like a magician when he shows a magic, you cannot think that it is a illusion. So that's why he used the word Loka Prasiddha Mayaya Lakshanam Yat Tat Ikshatam. When Purvapakshi asked this question, if I want to know about Maya, in what way I should know? And he says, Mayatvam eva nischayam iti chet. I want to know the nature of Maya. Tarhi nischinu. Come to know this way. Loga prasiddha Mayaya lakshanam. Yat tad ikshatam. Look at that way, as a magician does on the stage, how he presents this Maya as though, or the magic as though it is so real. Vispashtam. Even though you see from the hat a parrot is coming out or rabbit is coming out. Nirupayidum na shakya. How does he do that? How is that possible? That means only one thing. That what you see is not there and what you don't see is there. What is there, he is not showing you. What is not there, he makes it appear to be there. That is why it is not possible for you to prove how it is. Sa Maya iti. That is called Maya. Indrajala though. Like the Indrajala, like the magical power of Indra. Lokaha sampradipedire. Accepted by the world as not worried about too much about it. When a person watches a magic show, at the end of it, even though he does not know how it is all done, but he does not deny it. Yeah, that's Indrajal. It is the magical illusion that is created. And he accepts that and then proceeds on with his life. In the same way, this world, how did it come about? Why is it changing? And in spite of it having no swatantrata, really speaking, but it has the ability as though to even delude the unattached self as though is attached as ego. How? Akatita katana patiyasi maya. What is impossible made possible Maya. Spashtam bhajya jagatchetam ashakyam tannirupanam. Tannirupanam, jagataha nirupanam kartum na shakyam. Spashtam bhadi jagat. The world appears to be so real. Idam ashakyam tannirupidum. Saddidiva asattidiva nirupidum na shakya. This world, is it Sat? If it is Sat, it should never disappear. If it is Asat, it will never appear. But what is it then? Satchet na bhadeta. If it is true, it will never become absent. Asatchet na pratiyeta. If it is not true, then it should not appear. It should not be manifest. So, it does manifest at some point and it disappears at some point. Therefore, it is mithya. It appearance only, it is not real. Mayamayam jagat tasmat. Tasmat, therefore understand, Mayamayam jagat. This world is nothing but a full glory of this illusory power called Maya. Then, how do I deal with that? Apakshapadataha ikshasva. Relate yourself without any taking sides. Good or bad, right and wrong, these are all such a relative ones. Dharma, everything is relative. That's why now, what is Nachiketas, he asked that question. Tell me that which is beyond this. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat, anyatra krita akritat, anyatra bhudacha bhavyacha, yattat pashyasi tatvada. What is beyond dharma and adharma? What is beyond cause and effect? What is beyond past and future? That which you see, please tell me. Meaning, I understand dharma is there, adharma is there, cause is there, effect is there, yesterday is there, tomorrow is there. Right is there, wrong is there. I'm not worried about this at all anymore. Apakshapatataha ikshasva. Therefore, look at the world, not get overwhelmed, not get overpowered by. No, otherwise also people keep asking, Swamiji, is it right or wrong? Right in one sense, wrong in another sense. You can never conclusively say something is right, something is not right at any point of time. It depends upon the situation, depends upon the circumstance. A person carrying the gun is good or bad. It depends upon who it is. If he's a soldier or a police officer, yes, right. If it is anybody else, it is wrong. So it can never be absolute right and absolute wrong in any sense. It is contextual, circumstantial, situational. To tell the truth is good or bad, it depends again. If your life in danger or if your family is in danger, by telling the truth, it will endanger them. You don't tell them. You just keep quiet. So even that, telling the truth and telling what is correct, is also situational. And if a person is patient, is so weak-hearted, and if you tell him that you have one more day to go, he will die then itself. One doctor said to the patient, I have a good news and bad news. So what is the good news? Good news is they are planning to keep your name for the disease. Which is incurable. So that is the bad news is yet to come. But good news I'll tell you first. I want to tell you good news and bad news, the doctor said. So what is the good news? You will live 7 days more. What's the bad news? This I want to tell you last week. So you cannot tell the truth to someone who will be dying immediately. You just keep quiet. So Mayamayam Jagat Apakshapatataha Ikshatam. Ikshasva. Please see it without any taking sides. इसमें साधना बताया हुआ है. इसे साधना है हमको. क्या साधना है? पक्ष अपक्षपाततः ईक्षस्व. Idam jagat. This world should be seen with no partiality. The moment you take a partial standpoint, you will suffer. Because it is not going to be the same. You consider somebody as very good, depend upon him or understand, to take, him to be too seriously, suddenly that person turns out to be something else. It's like a stock market, Every day you have to watch, okay, it's going up, going down, going up, going down. It's like life is always like this only, right? So the Gurudev used to say, it is like that, what do you call that, wave?
Sine wave.
Huh?
Sine wave.
Flexing and then
No. The heart,
ECG.
ECG, ECG, right? If it is straight, then you're done. It has to be like this. Therefore, what you should do? ECG, easy. Yeah. Can't take it ECG, otherwise you didn't take it ECG. And that's it. Afterwards, you will be eliminated completely. Continuing, he says, Nirupayudumarabdhe Nikilairapi panditaihi Ajnanam puratastesham Vadikakshasu kasuchit Nirupayidumarabdhe Nikilairapi panditaihi Ajnanam puratastesham Vadikakshasu kasuchit Panditaihi akilaihi, Nikilaihi akilaihi same. sarvaihi api nirupayitum arabdhe, upon trying to prove what it is, what Maya is, how the world has come into being. When they start to explain this logic behind the whole creation, or the logic behind the cause and effect relationship of the world, or trying to understand or define Maya, what is that will come to them? Tesham puratah, there in front of them, kakshasu kasuchit ajnanam bhati. If they try to explain the world or Maya or the creation or the cause and effect relationship, how God created this world, these things can be explained at but some point of time. Kakshasu kasuchit. At some point of time, at kaksha means at some stage. At some stage or the other, kakshasu kasuchit. At some point, some stage or the other, they will face the statement in themselves saying, I don't know. Ajnanam purataha teshu bhati. How much ever logically you try to explain. Who? Not normal people. Pandidaihi. Api. All the pandits, all the various people who have proposed various philosophies. So many philosophies have come, even in the land of Bharat itself, there are so many of them. Shat darshanas are there. Yoga darshan, Sankhya darshan, Vaisheshika darshan, Bauddhika darshan, Jainika darshan. Then also Sa Charuvakaha, Uttara Mimamsaha, Nayayikaha. All these people have tried to explain very systematically also. But at some point of time, they have to accept. Beyond this, you don't know. How much ever you try to prove by logic. Naisha tarkena matirapaneya. Upanishad very clearly says, tarkena na matihi apaneya. Atmamatihi brahmamatihi na apaneya. You cannot understand the nature of the self, which is shrouded and clouded by Maya. And how is it that Maya is able to, even able to cover the supreme, eternal, ever-present, brilliant self? Nobody can say. How is that possible? So, at one point or the other, the scientists of life, so-called, the philosophers are called the scientists of life. Why they are called scientists of life? Because science is all about finding out the cause of things and to explain why the effect is behaving in that way. So, as much as the material science would able to observe the matter and understand the behavior of the matter, and by knowing the cause of the matter, and by understanding the behavior of the matter, how to deal with it. Is it not? Why do I understand the quality or nature of anything? So that I know how to handle this, and how not to handle it. In the same way, when philosophers are trying to understand Maya, they will first of all cannot know it. Much less they know its characteristics, and far less they can know how to handle it. Because it doesn't behave in the same way at all times. Matter can be predicted. It is this way only and not this way. Matter, we can say mud is not gold. It will behave like mud. Mud is behaving like mud only, not gold. It cannot become gold at some point of time suddenly. So the characteristics of the mud or the earth can be fixed, defined. It will not be otherwise. But that is not the case with Maya. It will be sannapya bhayatmikano. It will behave in one way. As you keep watching it, it will behave another way. So which is you? Depends. And interestingly, science also has found out that when they start observing the minutest particle of anything, atomic particle of anything under the microscope, it behaves according to the mind of the observer. See, if I look at it, it will behave one way, and somebody else look at the same thing, it will behave in different way. So it has the sensitivity to observe. Who is the observer? Can you understand even that? Even science has come to that point to know that what is being observed is influenced by the observer. It is not, I am not telling you something which is my own thing. It is true. So the minutest particle of the physical matter also has some amount of awareness, consciousness, and therefore even that is unpredictable. In a larger scope of things, you may think that it is infinite, but when you go minute to the finest point, it is unpredictable. So that is the reason why Ajnanam, why is it so? Pata nahi. मुझे मालूम नहीं है. Aham na janami. I don't know. That will be the answer. Ajnanam puradaha tesham bhati. It will be only ajnan. They will face it at some point of the time or the other. Now, giving us an example here. Dehendriyadayo bhavaha.
Dehendriyadayo bhavaha.
Viryenotpadita katam.
Viryenotpadita katam.
Katam va tatra chaitanyam.
Katam va tatra chaitanyam.
Ityukte te kimuttaram.
Ityukte te kimuttaram.
Dehendriyadayo bhavaha. Viryenotpadita katam. Katam va tatra chaitanyam. Ityukte te kimuttaram. Deha indriya adayaha. The body, the senses, etc. Maya viryena utpaditaha. If you say bhavaha vishyaha, padarthaha, viryena utpaditaha. Viryena utpaditaha, by the virya. Virya here means with what kind of a brilliance or seed it is all born. What is the cause? Virya means karana. Kim karanena utpaditaha kadam. How they have come about and what is the cause for it? Now, if you ask this question, how matter is created? Can the consciousness create matter? How can consciousness create its own opposite? How can Chetanatva can create Jadatvam? So, if the matter world is perceived as inert, what would be the cause of that inert world? Can it be Chaitanam, Chaitanya? Katam utpaditaha bhavaha. Now, if you say, we also know that even our own physical body, deha, indriya, ityadi, these are all inert, usme chaitanya hai. Katam va tatra chaitanyam, dehado katam chaitanyam. In the inert body, how can there be the presence of consciousness? Also, can you say that no, the body, etc., created the consciousness? Because it is lodged in the inside that, as though. Either you have to explain to me how consciousness created the inert world, or inert things caused the consciousness. Being viruddha dharma, it cannot be, right? It cannot be that an opposite, a thing which is it cannot create something opposed to itself as its creation. Because the science wants to believe that matter can create life. They want to believe it. But then tell me how. Pata nahi. Then what are you trying to say? Mujhe malum nahi hai. If you cannot explain, don't say that you have arrived at an answer. You're not arrived at an answer. You put another question only there. If you say, if the scientists say that matter created consciousness, how? I don't know. You tell me. Now, who is asking questions? Me or you? That is why earlier he said, no, that which is questionable, you ask a question, I will question you. Because that itself a questionable entity. About the questionable entity, if you ask a question, that very question is subject to question. You don't ask me the question. I will only ask you the question. You told me that you know it. But tell me, explain to me then. Ke te uttaram, what is your answer to this? So, inert thing cannot create consciousness, nor consciousness can create inert things. But we see it. It is there. Interesting, one more point is they are together. That is another wonderful thing. How can they gel together? Consciousness and inert are together in the same place. They are not fighting with each other, right? They, even though opposite by nature, but they are not contradicting or they are not fighting with each other. They are together. That's why Gurudev would say that as unholy wedlock. It's not a holy wedlock, it's unholy wedlock. Why? Because it is not possible. So here, te kim Kaijatyanam iti uktete kim uttaram. What is that which you are saying as the possibility of consciousness is as a product of matter, or matter as a product of consciousness? How is that possible? It cannot be explained. Then you have to come to an answer saying aham na janami. That's what I said earlier also. Ajnanam puradaha tesham bhati. At some point of time, kakshasu khasuchit, in some way, at some stage, you will come to face the statement, I don't know. All right. So, now, there is always there is a Purva Pakshi would say, matter can create life. Matter can create life. Now the word virya is used in the previous statement. Here, how is our body created? Kim viryena, kena viryena, pitaraha viryena. But the father's seed is created in the mother's womb. So viryena bhavaha deha indriya adayaha utpaditaha katam. How is that the virya of the father can create body, etc., in the body, in the womb of the mother? How is that possible? So now the question further extends. Virya of the father has the natural ability to do that. So, Swabhav. The answer is Swabhav. This is called naturalist. So the naturalist says, इसका स्वभाव ऐसा है. A वीर्य का स्वभाव उत्पत्ति करना, जीव को उत्पत्ति करना उसका स्वभाव है. So it is said, वीर्यस्यैष स्वभावश्चेत्
वीर्यस्यैष स्वभावश्चेत्
कथं तद्विदितं त्वया
कथं तद्विदितं त्वया
अन्वयव्यतिरेको यौ
अन्वयव्यतिरेकौ यौ
भग्नौ तौ बन्ध्यवीर्यतः
अग्नौ तौ मन्यवीर्यतः
वीर्यस्यैष स्वभावश्चेत् कथं तद्विदितं त्वया अन्वयव्यतिरेकौ यौ भग्नौ तौ बन्ध्यवीर्यतः. एष वीर्यस्य स्वभावः. This is the swabhava of the virya. The seed of coming from the father becomes the jiva, the individual life in the mother's womb. Iti chet. If you think, if you say, because the science wants to say that, as I said, matter can create life like the father's seed can create the life. That's what happens according to external observation. If you look at, take only the pratyaksha pramana, that is how you look at it. See, pratyaksha pramana satyatvam tarshayati. Suddenly like running. प्रत्यक्ष प्रमाण वस्तु सत्यत्वं दर्शयति न नित्यत्वम्. प्रत्यक्ष प्रमाण can show the reality of things and not eternality of things. If I say this I see, the pratyaksha praman for me, all of you are seeing this. You're not seeing and you're seeing. Now you're seeing. Others are in the okay. So there is the silver tumbler is there that you see. उसका सत्यत्व आप देख सकते हो, इसका नित्यत्व आप देख सकते हो. So it is limited. ये नित्यत्व आपको जानना है, उसको प्रमाण होना चाहिए. The reality of a thing can be known by pratyaksha pramana, but not the eternality. Whether it is nityam va anityam va, how do you know? You will not. That requires another pramana. Similarly, here, atma asti iti janati, maybe by self-awareness, but uska nityatva, which is very important, the eternality, immortality cannot be known, uska praman vedanta hi hoga. अनुमान प्रमाणेन न जानाति ज्ञातुं शक्यते. So when science observed fact only science can speak about, and the observed fact is what? Viryena janma. Viryena janma. So by the virya, the seed alone, the janma utpatti. That is what that conclusion. So, viryasya eshaha swabhavaha. Chet. If you think that the creation of the jiva, which has life, chetanatvam, is due to the swabhava of the natural characteristics of the virya, त्वया tat vididam katam. ये आपको मालूम कैसे होगा? How did you come to know about this? What is on what basis you have come to understand this? So when we say anvaya vyatireka, usually science also brings in elimination of the unwanted and only looking at what is uneliminated. Anvaya vyatireka means, which we use in Vedanta also, not this, not this, not this, not this, not this, not this, this. This is how Anvaya means assertion of what is, and Vyatireka means removal of what is not. So when you adopt this method of Anvaya Vyatireka, you will arrive at the final cause. So if there is a beautiful mandap made up of wood is there and painted gold, it looked like a golden mandap. But then you want to know what actually it is made of. So what do? You start to look at, remove, and sort of remove the layer of paint, you'll see this is the wood there. It's not stone, it is not gold, it is not silver, it is not plastic, it is not glass. Then you realize if all of them removed, what is there could be only wood there. So remove the characteristics that does not belong to it to arrive at what is its characteristic. This is how the method of Anvaya Vyatireka works. I am not the body, mind, intellect. When you say, then who are you? What left behind is me. As much as we use it in the Avasthatraya Vivek also. Right? What was there in the waking is not in the dream. What was in the dream is not in the waking. And what is not there in the sleep, both waking and dream. So in the state of sleep where waking and dream both are false, in the waking dream is false, in the dream waking is false, in the sleep both are false, then who am I? Is sleep is false or true? That is also false. In the waking sleep is not there. In dream sleep is not there. So neither waking is I am, dream I am not, sleep I am not, but I am not. Because if I am not, then how do I know? All the three. So the waking is also false in the dream and sleep, and dream is false in waking and sleep is false in waking and dream. But I am not false. Because if I am false, then how do I know the other one is absent? So who am I then? So this is Anvaya Vyatireka. Removal of what is temporary and false and asserting what is always there. So if you look at that way, that is how you concluded saying that Viryena Janma, when you say that, then that is your conclusion, correct? That's what you believed in, right? All right. Because there is no other entry anywhere you found. Because of Virya alone, the child is born. Because all other things which could possibly would have created the life was not there. The life is created because of the Virya alone. If that is the case, Virya can create life. If you say, what is the nature of that Virya when it is borrowed by a barren woman? Then what happens? Yaha Anvaya Vyatireko yo bhagnau tau. I can prove it to be wrong. Why? Vandya Viryataha. But in the case of that same Virya placed in the womb of a barren woman, how can that Virya lose its स्वभाव? आप बताया कि ये वीर का स्वभाव है जन्म देने का. So what happens then? So इसके स्वभाव है, स्वभाव भ्रष्ट हो गया. स्वभाव भ्रष्ट हो गया तो उसका स्वभाव नहीं है. स्वभाव भ्रष्टम न संभवति. If you say स्वभाव भ्रष्ट हो गया, then it's not स्वभाव. The nature of a thing cannot be otherwise. So if you say the Virya itself is capable of matter itself can create life, then why is it not creating the same life in the case of a barren woman? So your argument it is Swabhava is destroyed. Now, this is only an example. to say matter cannot create life. You cannot say matter created life. So, na janami kimapyetat
जानामि किमप्येतत्
ityante sharanam tava
इत्यन्ते शरणं तव
ata eva mahantosya
अत एव महान्तोऽस्य
pravadantindrajalatam
प्रवदन्तीन्द्रजालताम्
na janami kimapyetat ityante sharanam tava ata eva mahantosya pravadantindrajalatam. So what is your answer to that? पता नहीं कैसा हो गया न किमपि जानामि आई डोंट नो ये कैसा हुआ मुझे पता नहीं न जानामि किमपि आई डोंट नो एनीथिंग नाउ द बेस्ट आंसर a ज्ञानी would give about Maya is I don't know. It is not a defeat, huh? It cannot be known. You how much ever you try. If you think you know, you don't know. If you know that you don't know, you know. Yasya madam tasya madam madam yasya na vedasaha. Yasya amadam tasya madam. One who knows he does not know, he knows. Yasya madam na vedasaha. One who thinks he knows, he doesn't know. Padam yasya na vedasa. Abhijnadam vijanadam, vijnadam abhijanadam. One who knows thinks that he knows, does not know. One who knows that he does not know, knows. It is to say that Maya itself is such a powerful thing which cannot be easily comprehensible. That is why we understand it as Anirvachaniya Maya. So you keep on asking the same question in different ways does not give a different answer. So, na janami kimapi etat iti ante tava sharanam. Finally, what do you say? What will you surrender? I just don't know. This is the nature of all Mahatmas. That their mind is not worried about the ways of the Maya. There is no way you can understand that. That's why Bhagavan in this context of devotion already say, Mayam taranti te ke mayam taranti, who will cross over Maya? Mameva ye prapatyante. Jnane prapatyante. Mam here can be knowledge. So Bhagavan says, Mameva ye prapatyante mayametam tarantite. Jnane, in that jnanam, in that understanding, in that awareness, ye prapatyante, those who surrender, te mayam taranti. They will only cross over Maya. If you keep inquiring about it, it will take you around, round. It's like a maze, you know. It will keep you going. Suddenly there's a wall. Then you go this way. After suddenly there's another wall. Go this way, another way. So na janami kimetat iti ante sharanam tava ata eva mahantaha pravadanti asya maya tattvasya maya rupasya indrajalatam pravadanti. The nature of Maya or the form of the Maya is what? Indrajalatam. Of the nature of Indrajalam only. Indrasya jala. The illusory power of Indra. Jala because he also his jala is called Indra net. See, Vidyaranya Maharaj predicted at that long time back, there will be internet. Indrasya net. Jala is net. Indrasya net. So you ask one question, 25 answers will come. Or more. And from that, another 34. Another. It never ends. It's called Jala. You ask for one thing, there will be so many 100 possibilities are there. And even 100 possibilities, each one of them have another 100 possibilities. Where is the end? When you are watching one YouTube, next one comes already. Right? Next one. Watch this. You watch the another 3 of them will appear. Watch this, one by one. Autoplay finished you are. One after another. Endlessly it goes on looping. So, Atayeva Mahantaha. Mahantaha means those who have seen the end, meaning those who have reached the end of their inquiry. Mahantaha. Mahan Antam Jananti. The end, they have understood the end of everything. Meaning, end means the Maya ends only in realization of Brahman. There is no other end. There is no other way. Na anyapanta vimuktaye. Na anyapanta vimuktaye. There is no other way to it. So, Mahantaha asya Maya tattvasya indrajalatam pravadanti. So that is why it is said, with the wise don't argue, because they are not interested in this. They are not interested in this argumentation because they know there is no answer. There is no answer to this question. So, Anyavacho vimunchata. Upanishad case says very clearly, just stop talking about this Maya. Nobody can explain for forever or fully. So therefore, they also keep quiet. Vada parityajyatam pudajanehi. With the men of wisdom, don't have the argumentation because they will not be interested. For any amount of explanation will not prove the Maya's nature. There's a beautiful, different composition here of a different meter. Now you see here. Etasmat kimindraja. Etasmat kimindrajalam aparam.
Etasmat kimindrajalam aparam.
Yadgarbhavasastitam.
Yadgarbhavasastitam.
Retaschetati astamastakapatam.
Retaschetati astamastakapatam.
Prodbhutananankuram.
Prodbhutananankuram.
Paryayena shishutva yauvanajara.
Paryayena shishutva yauvanajara.
Veshairanekeivrutam.
Veshairanekeivrutam.
Pasyatyat trishrunodi jigrati tata.
Pasyatyat trishrunodi jigrati tata.
Gacchatyata gacchati.
Gacchatyata gacchati.
Etasmat kimidendrajalaparam yadgarbhavasastitam. Retaschetati hastamastakapada. Prodbhutananankuram. Paryayena shishutva yauvanajara. Veshairanekeivrutam. Pasyatyati shrunoti jigrati tata. Gacchatyata gacchati. It's a very interesting, different. Kim indrajalam aparam. Other than this, what else it can be? Other than the illusory power of indrajala. Etasmat, since it is Kim indrajalam aparam. Other than indrajala, the magical illusion, other than that, what else can be? Yat garbhavasastitam Yad garbhavasa sthitam, that which is placed in the womb of the mother, garbhavase sthitam, reyatah, the seed, chetati, it comes to become alive. It is just a product of matter eaten by the mother, father, and that seed, when it is placed in the mother's womb, it gains life. Kaisa ho gaya? And not only that, it has got that life pulsating in it, it starts to have develop starting udbhutanana ankuram. Various things that are like ankura, sprouts, what like hasta, mastaka, pada, head, hands, and hasta, hand, mastaka, head, pada, the feet, starts to develop. And that small little one thing, how can it start to develop a whole manifestation of a whole being? Hasta, mastaka, pada, prodbhutanana ankuram. And after it is delivered to become a child, paryayena, in the following order, it starts to experience itself as what? Shishutva, infant, yauvana, child or youth, jara, old age, vesaihi anekaihi vrutam, with various forms also. And it's not only that, pashyati, it sees, atti, it eats, shrunoti, it listens, jigradi, it smells, tata, gacchati, agacchati, goes and comes and goes. How is that the little single thing? You can't even see it. Little fellow, placed in the mother's womb, start to have life, and it starts to have form, and it starts for various stages of life. How is that possible? Where exactly you will even define this is where the life is? It is not even possible for us to, and as it is said in the earlier argument, you cannot predict it also. Is it not? So many seeds may be probably, but which one will become alive, you don't know. It is said thousands of them go in, but not all of them will become alive. By chance only it will become alive also. Nowadays, that artificial inseminants, all that thing they do, but even there they cannot be sure which one will become alive. Correct? They cannot predict. Chances are high. That is all. Now there is a new law in, I think, what is it? Alabama. I don't understand this. So, anyway, they will not go into that topic. It's a different thing altogether. So, how is that? It is that unpredictable it has become. How it will become? One may be alive, one not be alive. Out of 1,000, one can possibly become a being. Who can decide this? Science cannot decide this even today. And it starts to develop itself into a whole human person. And then not only human, any living being for that matter, any mammal for that matter. And it starts to develop and eats and walks and talks. It's a Gurudev is the miracle of life is you are talking. What else miracle is needed? A calcium carbonate and phosphate and this combination of things starts to talk. How is that possible? The food consumed away, the father starts to talk now. That is the wonder of wonder, is it not? That's why it is said that it is not even imaginable for you. Anirvachaniya maya. Dehavat gata dhanadau Suvicharya vilokyatam Vadhana kvabhava vrikshah kutra va vrikshah Tasman mayeti nischino. Dehavat vatadhanadau subicharya vilokyatam kvadana kutrava vrukshah tasman mayeti nischino. Dehavat, like that of the body, vatadhana adau. Dhana means seed. That's why I say dhana dhanyam. Dhanyam means, dhanam is wealth. Dhanyam is grains. Or in other words, here in this context, it is bija. So, vata bija adau, suvicharya, having thought about in the same way as it is explained here with respect to the human body or any body, how from the seed a thing starts to come out. In the same way, from a little small seed alone, all vrikshas, all the trees, huge trees you see, if you go back in time, slowly you will see that it's only a small seed. Huge tree you may have in your backyard. If you go back in time, what it was? A little tiny seed. How the tiny seed has got a life to break open and come to become a huge tree. Dehavat vatadhanadau suvicharya, having thought about it, vilokyadam, come to see it clearly. What? Kva dhana, how is this possible? How is that a seed? Kutrava vriksha? Where has this become a vriksha? Look at the seed and the vriksha put together next to each other. Look at it. How is that possible? The seed to become such a huge tree. How is this ever even comprehensible? Human beings today also cannot create that. You cannot create a seed artificially. Artificial plant they create, but artificial seed cannot create it. For creation of a seed, you need another seed. You cannot yourself on the lab. You cannot create the seed. It's not possible without the help of an existing one. So, tasmat maya iti nischino. This is what is called maya. What is not possible made possible. What is ununderstandable made possible. How is it doing? It is not known. When and how. Predictable or not predictable. Dasmat maya iti nischino. Nischitam nischayam kuru. This is how one should understand the nature of maya. So the intention of Vidyaranya here is the topic of maya should not come on the way of you understanding Brahman. Don't get confused about it, because very often, what was the first thing Swamiji asked so many people about the same question? It will never be answered. And that should not stop you from proceeding on to understand Brahman. My Guru does not know the answer. He doesn't know anything. Therefore, he is not knowing Brahman also. That which cannot be answered, just because you cannot answer, does not mean you don't know any other thing. So, Brahmagyan, in the pursuit of Brahmagyanam, let not the impossibility of understanding Maya come on the way. It should be set aside. That is the idea here. That's why he said what? Apakshapatataha ikshasva. Without thinking about it, what it is not, how it will never be able to proceed. You will not be able to proceed if you get stuck with that. We'll see more of it in the next class. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.